And welcome to ENZYMENTAL. I'm Jason Carter, and today I wanted to tell you about probably my favorite aspect of colostrum, which, as we know, is nature's first food for all mammals. And for adult humans in supplement form, that, of course, is bovine colostrum, or colostrum that comes from the first milking of cows. Colostrum is also known as pre-milk, and it's a natural product produced just before and for several days after following the birth of the calf. So what can colostrum do for athletes? Probably the best thing about colostrum is first that it's a food, and that also it contains countless bioactive substances which have been shown to protect against disease and promote overall good health. But for the athlete, or any active individual, colostrum supplementation can help to increase lean body mass, improve muscular strength, increase endurance and capacity, and also speed recovery. So what this means is that the person using colostrum, whether you're an athlete or not, can train harder, longer, and recover faster. So how exactly does colostrum boost athletic performance? It's well known that colostrum contains peptide growth factors which stimulate growth and differentiation. And so a number of growth factors have been described in bovine colostrum, and these would primarily include insulin-like growth factors, IGF-1 and IGF-2, transforming growth factor, which is TGF-beta-1 and TGF-beta-2, and also epidermal growth factor, otherwise known as EGF. Insulin-like growth factor 1, or IGF-1, is found in relatively high concentrations in colostrum and is specifically interesting in regard to athletic performance. IGF-1 mediates the growth or metabolic effects of our natural growth hormone. IGF-1 stimulates muscle and bone proliferation and development, meaning that it actually helps to stimulate muscle and bone growth and overall maintenance. As any active person knows, physical exercise and training cause muscle damage, and recovery is essential to continuing your training. Bovine colostrum actually really helps in this recovery process. Studies on colostrum's IGF-1 have shown that it can promote an increase of up to 15% in muscle mass and as much as 14% increase in strength. I've told you before about glutathione, which is our body's master antioxidant, and glutathione is also a component of colostrum. The oxidative stress that comes from training and athletic exertion will certainly contribute to muscle fatigue over time, so the glutathione in colostrum can really help to increase the capacity of exercise prior to the onset of fatigue. A classic marker of muscle cell damage is the presence of creatine kinase, a critical enzyme involved in muscle metabolism, and so elevated levels of creatine kinase in the blood are often associated with significant muscle damage. However, athletes who regularly consume colostrum typically have less than half the circulating creatine levels following exercise than those who don't. Another component of colostrum that really helps with athletic performance and general growth maintenance is transforming growth factor and also that epidermal growth factor. And colostrum contains both of these significantly. Both of these growth factors stimulate tissue repair and wound healing. Digestive disorders are associated with a number of contributing factors, which include stress, medications, infectious agents, poor diet, and in the case of an athlete, overtraining, of course. So the use of bovine colostrum can be an effective treatment in mitigating the gut damage caused by aspirin and other non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. In fact, I often tell people who regularly take these drugs for pain, usually older people, to pair those drugs with colostrum for this specific benefit. So how much colostrum should you be consuming throughout the day? That's individual to the person and also your activity level, of course. And this also includes things like body mass index. And if you have any existing gut damage, the colostrum will actually be used first to restore the gut rather than boost the muscle tissue. So because of this, you may need to take colostrum consistently to see some substantial results as far as muscle and endurance. Because colostrum is a food, there is no recommended dose. But a general rule to follow is the more active you are, the more colostrum you may need. I would try to get it as a powder as opposed to capsules or tablets because that would have the least amount of processing. Colostrum, unfortunately, isn't often discussed nearly as much as things like creatine and whey protein. And that's really unfortunate because colostrum actually does physically boost muscle tissue and muscle output naturally. And even though whey protein is touted as doing this, the only thing whey protein ever did for me is spike my insulin. And that's often what I call the dark side of whey protein. The best kept secrets are often just that, secrets. And colostrum is certainly one of these best kept secrets because it actually does physically boost muscle tissue and increase fat burning in a natural food-based way that does not include any of the disastrous side effects of anabolic steroids. If you're like me and you struggle with staying anabolic, because in my case I have adrenal fatigue that keeps my muscles catabolic and cannibalizes muscle tissue very quickly, colostrum is the safest and most effective option for keeping your muscles anabolic. And this is primarily why I call colostrum the best kept secret in bodybuilding. Thanks for watching. I'm Jason Carter, and I'll see you next time on ENZYMENTAL. Stay healthy.